Hello everybody and welcome to Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition. Dark Souls with all one of its DLC. Not really enough DLC to justify a whole different release of a game, but I picked it up for $6, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, we're just going to start a new game. And my name, as always, will be Serivich, because why not? But I've been thinking a lot about this run recently, and at first I was just going to do a dexterity build, but that's kind of boring. I've played through this game quite a lot, I'm quite familiar with it. What I want to do is more of a dual-wielding character, which means I'm not going to be using a shield at all, I'm just going to have two weapons. And that should be either interesting or very terrible. But just to explain some of my choices here, the thief, because the thief starts out with a dagger, or a knife, or whatever you want to call it, and because it also starts out with a master key. And because it starts out with the master key, I don't have to pick that gift here. A gift is what you start the game with as your starting item, you could call it. So all of these you can find throughout the game, and the only one now that I am actually interested in is the Tiny Bing's ring, because you don't normally get that until about the halfway point into the ring, or into the game, sorry. So what that does, and that is a bullshit description by the way, it does not recover your HP slowly, it gives you a small health boost. Physique, because I am a thief character, it is going to be very slim, unlike myself in real life. And I'm just going to go with a default face, and split back hair because I'm crazy like that. And it is going to be gray because this guy is old, although you will never see his face or hair. Alright, let's go.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain.
Dark's capitalized, that's important.
Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
Well, I guess this is life now. Welcome to the game, everybody.
This is your fate.
Hey, a buddy. Okay, now we're in the game. So, just going to pillage this dungeon cell key from that guy, because somebody was so sweet and kind enough to leave it for us, and we will proceed on our way to kill things, even though they probably don't deserve it. But they're worth like 20 souls each, so I can't say no. Even though, in this game, 20 souls doesn't mean nearly as much as it did in Demon Souls. Demon Souls, if you're not aware, is the I wouldn't say prequel. Dark Souls is more of a spiritual successor to Demon Souls. And rightfully so. Dark Souls is a pretty damn good game. I have played through it way too many times for it to even be remotely healthy. And one other thing I must say, that cutscene was loud as shit. If in the options menu, there we go. Which, the options menu does not exist on the main menu, by the way. I don't know if you could tell that or not. It only has PC options and key options. You had to go in-game to modify these. But I had the music, sounds, and voices all the way down. Cutscenes, apparently don't have those settings applied to them. So, yeah, that's kind of annoying. But that was a bonfire. Bonfires allow you to rest at them, which recovers your health, recovers your Estus, which we'll run into later, and respawns all the enemies that you've killed. So, yeah. And first boss of the game. Just gonna ignore you. See ya. You can stay and try to fight him, but unlike Demon Souls where you can stay and fight, I think it's the Vanguard. I don't really remember its name. It's been so long since I played that game and I really want to. But you can't stay and fight that one, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not going to even bother to equip that. But what I was trying to say, you can stay back there and try to fight him, but it's really not advised at this stage. You only do like 2 damage at a time to him, and he has an outrageous amount of health. If you were patient enough and skilled enough, I'm pretty sure you could beat him, die. But I'm not patient enough. And I like how I still have the fast roll even though I have both of these equipped. I guess I just have a decent enough endurance for that. Oh, don't worry. I will be slow rolling before you know it.
Oh, you.
Hey, it's you. I remember
You're not
you.
hollow.
We met like 10 minutes ago.
Thank goodness.
Or 10
I'm done
seconds.
for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you.
Sorry about that. I keep forgetting I'm using Bandicam, and I should probably get it to a position where I can see the timer. There we go. Yeah, that's helpful. You didn't really miss much. He's just asking me to hear him out on what he has to say, and I will.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family.
Don't undead hate
Thou
fire?
art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When
That's
thou
awfully
ringest the bell of
specific.
awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Yay.
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Remember that hope you were talking about? Yeah. It's okay, that doesn't actually have any impact on the game at all. It is completely pointless. And I need to go down here and... Ow. First of all, break my legs. Second of all, open that door so I can have a shortcut back. Even though I don't really plan on using that bonfire again, so it was completely pointless. So well, it'll save some time later on. Estus flasks are your main healing item in the game. They're one of the major changes from Demon Souls. In Demon Souls, you could collect moon grass, like crescent moon grass, full moon grass, and those would heal you depending on what they were. Instead, in this, Estus flasks heal you. Okay, let's. Oh yeah, I shouldn't be blocking. I should be trying to be nimble. But in this, you acquire Firekeeper souls, which you can use to improve the power of your Estus flask. Okay, you're dead. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. I am going to have to be pretty quiet during some of the fighting sequences, just because in this game, concentration is everything. You have to know what the enemies are going to do, and it's quite painful when you aren't paying attention. And I completely botched that. Good job, me. No, that was fantastic. Oh well, this boss isn't too terrible. Now watch me die to him, and watch me get hit by his hammer 30 freaking times. This boss is just here to introduce you to the concept of larger enemies in the game, as quoted from the guide, which I bought the guide the day I bought this. So, if I can not die to you, that would be fantastic. And if I could quit rolling into your leg when I'm trying to dodge an attack, that would be even better. You can see I'm taking out a large chunk of his health every few swipes. That's because this weapon has an effect that's called bleeding. And what that does, as you hit an opponent, a little meter will fill up. And when that meter gets to the top, it causes bleed damage, which I can't remember exactly which percentage of health it does. I think for normal enemies it's like a third of their max health, and for bosses it's maybe like an eighth. I'm not entirely sure though. But okay, that is the Asylum Demon dealt with. There's an item over here if you are interested. I will be trying to show off as many items as possible. I'm not going to get everything though. So if you want to use this as a kind of guide for like getting things early or getting everything, then have at that, I guess.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Just stand there and take it,
To
that's fine.
leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage. to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Get it? Lordran? Yeah, clever naming in this game. Okay, so, welcome to Lordran. This is the main hub area of the game. And I'm just going to rest at that bonfire so I can get 10 Estus flasks. So what you can do throughout the game is kindle bonfires using these little things over here, if I can get to it, called Humanity. Humanity allows you to do two things, and I will demonstrate such things now. Well, I'll demonstrate one of them anyway. When you use a Humanity, it adds 1 to the counter up there. It'll add 2 if you use a twin Humanities. But if you come to a bonfire and choose to reverse hollow, it will make you go from ugly to tolerable. And who doesn't want to be tolerable? But being non-hollowed, I guess you're still technically undead, I'm not entirely sure on that. But being non-hollowed, I think it increases some of your resistances like poison and bleeding, and it also allows you to kindle bonfires. And kindling also uses Humanity, and when you kindle a bonfire, it adds 5 more uses to your Estus Flask, but only for that bonfire. So, you rest of that bonfire, like right now I have 10 Estus Flasks. That's because that one, since it's by a Firekeeper, it already has 10 Estus Flask uses. And the Firekeeper is right here. She cannot talk. Yeah, I'm going to be explaining a lot of things in this game, and I apologize if
That one.
he has nothing interesting to say. He's just telling me about the Bells of Awakening, blah, 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 blah. I will probably be skipping past a lot of text in this, so as I was trying to say earlier, before I was so rudely interrupted by trying to speak to somebody, I'm going to be skipping a lot of text. I'm not going to be showing off every single area in all of its glory. So if you're looking for the newbie experience, that is not me. I played through this game at least 30 or 40 times, and that is being generous to myself, as in saying I probably don't have that much of an on-life. Actually, I don't need to go down here. The prospect of getting a scimitar is slightly outweighed by dying to skeletons. There are a few items down there. There are some souls, and there's an ultra great sword and a spear and binoculars, and I need none of those. Okay. So I'm just going to leave. Oh wait, no I'm not. I forgot one major thing. How could I forget this? Yeah, right now I'm just going around in the hub area collecting all the items I can find. And some of those items happen to be down here. There we go. Chests galore. And I'm just going to open all of them and take none of it, because I am hardcore like that. Okay. Cracked red eye orbs. Invade another world. They are a major item for multiplayer. This game is, I want to say heavily based on multiplayer, but it isn't exactly. But it is a major aspect to the game. And when you're non-hollowed, you're able to use the red eye orbs to invade another player's world and try to kill them. If you're successful in killing them, you get a percentage of their current souls plus 1 humanity. And if you die, you don't really get any. And I let the timer run out again. I am terrible at this. Then again, I'm a little more focused on this than I usually am in games like Minecraft. But we're just going to go ahead to the first area of the game. Well, I say first area, I mean like the first actual place where the game starts to pick up in difficulty. And I'm trying to do a lunge attack there, and this controller is kind of awful, and I'm going to be blaming a lot of things on the controller. As you can see, I kind of start walking there. If I had my controller joysticks to a certain degree, like pressed to a certain degree, then it'll just cause me to walk, and that's quite annoying. But I won't try to be too whiny about it. And there's another guy down here that I just want to deal with. Hashtag deal with it. Can I parry with this? No. Good time to ask. You know what? I'm tired of your shit. What are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it, nerd? That's what I thought. You're gonna die. Alright, let's see if I can do this without dying. Okay, good. Right over here, we have our first instance of a Ring of Sacrifice. A Ring of Sacrifice, when worn, causes you to not lose any souls or humanity upon death, which is very helpful if you're into that sort of thing. But the downside to it is that when that happens, when it revives you or whatever you want to call it, it breaks. So it's an item that can only be used once. And as such, I tend to not use items like that. Like, you'll see, I'm not going to use that. Or that ever. Well, actually, no, I won't. Because that's stupid. I want to keep all of my souls in humanity. Oh, and I should probably explain what these are. These little things, souls of the lost undead, when you use them, I can show it right now, it's basically a free packet of souls. And unlike normal souls, when you die, these remain in your inventory. But you see the other counter on the bottom right there, that is your soul count. And when you die, you lose all of your souls and all of your humanity. But if you're able to make it back to the spot where you were killed, you can get those back. But if you die again, then those souls and humanities are lost forever. And I'm going to be doing a lot of backstabbing in the backstabbing. Great, not enunciation. What do you want to call it? Ow. That's fire in my face. Alright, you can quit that now. You can quit. Just give up. Backstabbing and riposting. Riposte? I don't know what the hell you call it. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I've only ever seen the word written. But when you do those, they are critical attacks. And they do a shit loaf of damage. Okay, get up here. Okay, I'm gonna die. Let me just heal. I gotta remember I don't have the reach on this weapon as I would on a two-handed weapon. I'm doing a, I guess you could call it a sister run, except I'm not recording it, of just a two-handed weapon run. Like, I'm not using a shield on that one either, just a heavy weapon. I'm just trying to see if it's even remotely possible to beat the game that way. And as it turns out, it's fucking difficult. But I thought it would be good practice to prepare for this run. Okay, there we go. We did all of that for rubbish. Aren't we proud? Another humanity. To start off with in this game, humanity is kind of rare. What the hell am I doing now? Killing you. That's what I'm doing. How could I forget? Yeah, humanity to start off with, kind of rare. But as you progress, you'll run into more enemies that can drop humanity, and that's where you can really stock up. They, I don't want to say screwed up, but they definitely made humanity collecting much easier with the addition of the DLC. But we won't get to that for a very, very, very long time. If ever, if this run ever even works. Okay, killing you. And you. Planning on just trying to make it... Wow. So let's try that sentence again. Planning on just trying to make it to this bonfire up here, and then I'm going to call it. Just because I hate letting my videos go over 30 minutes, because rendering that in 1080p is a pain in the ass. It just takes forever. And right here we have the wooden shield, array. And up here we have an annoying crossbowman. And right here we have some annoying fog because apparently somebody's trying to invade me. Yay. The downside to being non-holified is that you can be invaded as well. Okay, I gotta remember I'm not using a heavy weapon. Gotta remember that. Spear guys are annoying because they like to hide behind their shields and attack you. And I was saying something earlier about backstabbing and riposting, basically critical attacks. If you're able to kill an enemy with a backstab or riposte, or if you're just able to kill them with a significant amount of damage, you get a 20% soul gain boost. So that's why I'm doing so much backstabbing.
Well,
Yeah, this is just a shopkeeper guy thing. He's loco. Not getting that because I don't need the guy that it rescues, but I am going to get, which of these do I want? I'm going to decide on this eventually. Okay, first off,
thank you,
how much
Cat.
dexterity do I have? 15, okay. So, I'm going to get the scimitar.
Oh,
I normally wouldn't buy a weapon this early, but since I'm dual wielding and I won't be running across another weapon that I like anytime soon. Actually, I want the scimitar there, and I want the bandit's knife there. Does that put me over 25%? No, it does not. Okay. And I can parry with the knife. That's good to know. So, am I done being invaded? Yes, I am. Okay. So, I was probably saying something, but oh well. We are at the bonfire. We are not able to use the bonfire for whatever reason. Come on, bonfire. Work. This is annoying. Well, while we're waiting on that to function, I can explain this right quick. Write, view, rate messages. You can write messages to people. Like, not specifically to a certain person, but your messages will show up in the world. So, I can just leave a little troll message right here. We're going to say, be wary of illusory wall. See how many people attack that. There we go. And the bonfire still won't work. Normally, you can just exit the game and return. So that's what I'm going to do, but I am going to end the video here. So thank you for watching, and I hope you will continue to watch because I am really excited about this run, and I hope you are too. So this has been Serivich, and I will see you later.